I hate basting my quilts, but I love the new method I found on how to do it. I'm Kim Jamison Hurst of Chatterbox Quilts, and I really hate basting my quilts. I used to pin baste them, but that is really hard to do. It's hard to find an area big enough to put down your quilt backing, I should say, and you want to make sure you're on a surface that you can actually pin through and you don't damage that surface underneath. It just seems to take forever. So I found another method, and that was spray basting, and I used the 505 temporary fabric adhesive. Now that works really well, but there are some disadvantages to that one. First off, because of the fumes with this spray, you have to either use it outside or with the respirator. And if you get it on anything else, it's very tacky and sticky, so you have to protect your surface that you have your quilt on top of that you're spraying, because you really don't want to get it on your pressing surface or the floor. And it's really expensive. So while it works well, it's really not the best method for me. But I did find another method, and that is to make your own spray baste. And I found this online through a site called California Quilting. A lady named Janet was actually using Elmer's school glue to baste her quilts together, but she found another method, which is what I'm going to show you, and that was from a lady called Mrs. Beasley in one of the quilt forums that she belongs to. So thank you to both of them for coming up with this. I'm really enjoying using it, and I'm really pleased to be able to share it with you today. It's really easy to make this basting spray, and you probably already have the ingredients you'll need in your house. You're going to need a pot and a whisk. You probably have those. Half a teaspoon salt, 2 cups of water, 3 to 4 tablespoons of flour, another cup of water. You're going to need a container to shake the flour and water in. Just any old jar will do. And you're going to need a cup of rubbing alcohol, some kind of spray container to put the spray in at the end, and you might need a funnel to get it into that container. So let's get started, and I'll show you how to make this. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your salt and you're going to put it into your pan, and then you're going to take the 2 cups of water and put that into the pan as well. You're going to put this on the stove at a high heat until it comes to a boil. While it's coming to a boil, though, what you're going to do is take your 3 to 4 tablespoons of flour and you're going to put them in a container. And you're going to add your cup of water. This is like making gravy almost. You know how you do the same thing with the flour and water when you're making gravy. This is like quilt gravy, I guess. Okay, now that it's all shaken up, I can pour this into the salt and water that are boiling on the stove. So you're going to want to turn down the mixture a little bit, but you still want it to be at a bit of a rolling boil, I guess, not a real high boil, but a rolling boil. And you're just going to keep whisking every so often to keep it from sticking the bottom of the pan until it gets thicker. And it's going to look like this. Ta-da! So you can see how it's gotten kind of gelatinous. So like a gravy mixture. Gooey is a good description for it, really. So when it's like that, move some things out of the way here. We're done with the whisk. You're going to take it off the stove and you're going to let it sit until it comes to room temperature. So that may take a little while, of course. Once it's at room temperature, then you're going to want to put it into your spray container. And you're definitely going to want a funnel for this. Now I still have some of this spray mixture in here, but I'm just going to add the new one I've made. It's pretty gloopy, that's for sure. Here's the last little bit going in now. And I'm going to take that funnel out for now and put it over there off to the side. And I'm taking my rubbing alcohol. This one happens to be 70%. I don't know that it matters the percentage on it really, but that's the common type I usually get. And you're going to put that into your measuring cup, and you want a cup of it. If you don't have any rubbing alcohol at home, you can get it at your grocery store or at your drugstore. Quite inexpensive. Now I'm going to want my funnel out again. It's probably still a little gooey here. And I'm just going to put that cup of rubbing alcohol right in. So make sure you have a big enough container to fit it in. Probably I should empty mine out. In any case, you get the idea. Don't do this at home. I'm going to take some of it out of it because I'm going to need it. So things are a little messy here. That's why I have a cloth down. Okay, and then once you get it in there, you're just going to shake it up really good, and then you'll be ready to go. So this will last you for a few months probably. You may not have to shake it every time you use it. You'll probably have to shake it actually before you start using it. But I would suggest if it starts getting really thick, then you could probably empty it out and make a new batch. But it is very economical to use. Works very well. You just spray your back of your quilt top, press it down onto your batting, and then I would iron it, or you can let it dry if you want. I let it dry for a little bit, and then I usually iron it to really press it, get that basting going in there. And then I would turn it over, and I would spray the backing of my quilt, and I would press it down to the batting, let it dry for a little while, and again iron it down, and then it's ready to quilt. You can find information in the description below as to the quantities that I used for this.